Jigsaw puzzles are one of the most basic and approachable, but sometimes satisfying and enjoyable puzzle games that are out there still today, and they've been there for hundreds and hundreds of years, I'd imagine. And Wilmot Works It Out, which is the indirect sequel to Wilmot's Warehouse, takes puzzling and jigsawing to a cute, wholesome, and very approachable level by placing you inside Wilmot's house as he takes part in a daily jigsaw puzzle challenge where the postie arrives with a new set of blocks for multiple different puzzles for you to sort out, put together and then place on your wall. The more puzzles you do and deliver, the more art pieces you have to put on your wall, and then you start to branch out into different rooms in Wilmot's house so that you can then decorate different rooms with different styles of art as you progress through the game. The game has 8 seasons worth of puzzling, and it takes place in-game at least over the course of several seasons and years in the game as Wilmot gets more and more puzzly over the course of time. And the interaction and camaraderie with your postie that delivers new things every day continues to kind of grow, and you develop a nice little friendship with them over the course of time too. It's wholesome, it's approachable, it's quite addictive as well because it constantly drip feeds in a selection of puzzle blocks, and whenever the postie delivers something, you might have 2 or 3 puzzles on the go, but you'll always be able to complete one to put on the wall, because when you put something on the wall, that signals the postie to then arrive the next day to deliver more pieces for you. How you deal with this is through a grid-based movement system, and you always stay in the living room, and I think this is a bit of a missed opportunity with Wilmot Works It Out. You could have moved to different size rooms or shape rooms to have made this game a bit more complicated, but they've gone down the easy route basically to try and remove as much friction in this game as possible to get you towards completion by placing you in a very large living room space, but you have to kind of get behind and nudge, like with your nose, all of the different pieces of the puzzles around so that they kind of slot and click together. You get a visual and audible cue when 2 puzzle pieces are next to each other that align, and you can kind of slap them into place. So you can then push and move around blocks of puzzle pieces in different shapes and sizes. You don't have anything that's too big to move around. It's just that it might scoop up other bits of the puzzle pieces from other puzzles or ones that you've kind of sorted out or separated elsewhere in the living room. So you can create a bit of a mess as you're going around. But so long as you're relatively tidy, the game never throws so much at you that you can't see the wood for the trees. You just have to carefully sort things into small groups of piles of things and then sort them out as they go along. The game doesn't offer you any hints in terms of what a puzzle piece looks like at the end, and that's really the only difficulty in Wilmot Works It Out, because quite often puzzles are delivered side by side that have similar colour palettes, even if they are depicting very different art pieces. And so that's where occasionally it might trip you up. Or it might be that they've snuck in a little 2x2 puzzle in there that you've not quite realised you can solve when you're trying to solve bigger pieces, because these jigsaw art pieces can go up to like 25, 30 pieces of puzzle. And they aren't all perfect squares. Some of them are long, some of them are wide, some of them are tiny, some of them are big. And that variety keeps you on your toes as you're trying to push and pull things together. The game is delivered over 8 seasons, which marks up a kind of friendship over time as you chat to the postie, who then sees what you're doing and then gets invested in the puzzle club as well. And so that's quite nice and wholesome. Sometimes she goes on holiday and the replacement postie comes along and is like, what are you doing? And it's all kind of cute and relaxing. Nice chill lo-fi beat music going on in the background. Really soft colour palette. The controls work a treat because of how you can snap and unsnap puzzle pieces together and then nudge around groups of things. And yeah, there's just no real barrier to entry here. And whilst that ultimately might make for a very easy and simple through road to get from beginning to end of this roughly 8-hour initial campaign, it's one of those games where I've been dipping in and out of it since release, doing a few puzzles and then feeling immensely satisfied with myself and then moving on and coming back the next day. And I've almost become like a little mini Wilmot habit where people kind of do like a daily Sudoku or a daily crossword. I've been doing a daily jigsaw puzzle in Wilmot Works It Out, and it works exceptionally well if you play it like that. This isn't a game where you're going to want to binge it for 8 hours. This works really well when served in small chunks. And yeah, I was surprised at how far this concept can go and still be interesting, despite nothing really changing from puzzle 1 through to like a puzzle 150 by the time you get to the end of it. But it's just such a wholesome, cute vibe and a lovely world to be in. Wilmot is clearly living his best life as a puzzle fan, and this is definitely more approachable and easier than Wilmot Warehouse as well. So if you're looking for the simpler and cosier side of a puzzle and jigsaw game, Wilmot Works It Out should be a must-buy. Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a completely independent media outlet supported by people like you. The goal is to create the best possible content that cultivates a richer indie scene for games as well as music and entertainment. To find out more and to get involved, visit patreon.com/Higher Plane Network. Your support makes all the difference, and in return you'll gain access to bonus content and downloads. Thank you for watching.